The single biggest lie, well, maybe not a lie, but a massive, massive misunderstanding in our industry right now is that soft washing is just, jet washing, but with a black nozzle or a throttled down machine. I hear it all the time on the forums, guys saying, oh yeah, Mark, I soft wash. I just turn the regulator down on my pressure washer. No, you don't. That is not soft washing. True soft washing operates at garden hose pressure. We are talking under 100 psi. It relies entirely 100% on targeted chemistry to sanitize the surface, not kinetic force to blast it.
Think about what actually happens when you hit a rendered wall or a tile roof with high pressure. You see the green algae disappear and you think, job done, looks great. But microscopically, you've just given that organic growth a fancy haircut. Lichen, moss, algae, they have these tiny root-like structures called rhizines. When you blast them with a pressure washer, those rhizines stay deeply embedded inside the pores of the stone or the render. And even worse, that high pressure blasts open microscopic fissures in the surface itself. So what have you actually done? You've left the roots alive and you've created a perfectly protected damp incubator. That's why, a few months later, the biofilm grows back faster, thicker, and angrier than it was before you even started. Let's make this dead simple. Imagine you've got a greasy dinner plate after a Sunday roast. Now, you wouldn't take that plate out into the garden, hook up a high-pressure cold water jet, and try to blast the grease off, would you? I mean, you'd end up with a broken plate and grease splattered all over your face. No, you use warm water and a bit of washing up liquid. The soap, the surfactant, breaks down the oil at a molecular level, and then you just gently rinse it away. It's the exact same principle with exterior cleaning. We use chemistry, surfactants and biocides to break down organic bonds at the molecular level, allowing for a gentle, safe rinse that preserves the structural integrity of K-rend, cladding or roof tiles. No blasting required. Now, this whole method didn't just appear overnight. It actually started back in the US in the late 80s and 90s. Homeowners were having massive issues with moss and algae on their asphalt shingle roofs. Contractors were using high-pressure jet washes and, surprise, surprise, they were completely destroying the shingles, stripping the protective granules and voiding manufacturer warranties left, right and centre. So, a few clever pioneers started experimenting with crude agricultural sprayers and pool chlorine to see if they could kill the growth without the force. And it worked. It laid the groundwork for what's now a highly specialised global trade. But when it first crossed the pond to the UK, it was a bit of the Wild West. I remember the early days. You had guys mixing raw, unstable industrial bleach in the back of rusty transit vans with zero safety guidelines. Just guessing the mix, spraying it around and hoping they didn't kill the customer's prize-winning roses or burn their own lungs out. Today, thank goodness, those days are gone. We have strict COSH regulations, environmental runoff laws, and the Environment Agency watching where that wastewater goes. You can't just be a bleach bandit anymore. You need professional, precise proportioning systems like the clever injector dosatron systems to make sure you're mixing chemicals accurately and protecting the property, yourself, and the local waterways. And this is where we have to talk about professional standards. Look, just owning a fancy pump and a van doesn't make you a professional soft washer. Real profit in this game comes from knowledge, not just power. You need to be able to look at a surface, whether it's silicone-based render, old brick or clay tiles, identify the specific organic contaminant and know exactly what dilution ratio and chemical is safe and effective. That's why we built the Softwash UK CPD-certified softwash training course. It takes you out of that cowboy mentality of guessing by eye and gives you a legitimate, high-margin business model. Plus, once you're trained, you get access to the approved Softwash applicator directory and join the National Association of Softwash Community, which instantly builds massive trust with commercial clients and homeowners who want the job done safely. So here is my challenge to you this week. Take a hard look at your current setup. Audit your chemicals, check your safety gear, look at your risk assessments. Are you operating like a professional, or are you still relying on guesswork and high pressure? If you want to step up,
get certified, and really build a profitable, compliant business, head over to softwashing.uk. We've got all the tools, the chemicals, and the training to get you where you need to be. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Stay safe out there, keep the pressure low, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.